Hello, this is Dr. J back with some more Let's Play Combined Arms. We have completed the first two nod missions, Conspiracy and Subversion. We are on to the third, Salvation. The visitors, the Skrin, have taken control of a peninsula that is home to many innocent people in order to seed it with Tiberium. These people's cries for help have been predictably ignored. The Brotherhood is their only hope. Their homes, and indeed their lives, are in our hands. Okay, so let me just pause there to say I really like this paragraph, because the whole point of the Brotherhood of Nod, I mean, yeah, it's a terrorist organization, but it's supposed to be able to get recruits and be successful because it at least pretends to help and appeal to people who are oppressed and ignored by the major authorities that be. But at least in the first two games, Tiberian Dawn and Tiberian Sun, that is very rarely expressed, and Nod is mostly just depicted as unmitigated pure evil. So I really like that, even if it's just fake and cynical, that at least with this briefing, Combined Arms is acknowledging that this is how Nod has to operate, right? That they have to try to go to the marginalized peoples and get support there by lending them some kind of help. So that's cool. Anyway, I've said enough about that. Let's move on. Take a detachment and liberate the peninsula. Show these people that after having been forsaken by all others, the Brotherhood of Nod will protect them, and in turn, I am certain that many of them will join our cause. As to Skrin control of the Tiberium fields here... As to Skrin control the Tiberium fields here, you will need to take control of the oil derricks here to fund your efforts. Okay, and my cat is now sitting in front of my screen. Oh, no, she's decided she wants to sit in my lap. Make up your mind, girl. You can sit in my lap if you want to. That's better than in front of the screen. Alright, well, I may have to pause mid-mission if she starts chewing on cords or one of her usual shenanigans. For now, she's being good. Let us begin. Oh, wow. Okay, we get a pretty major base to start out with. Skrin are preparing reinforcements, and we must eliminate their foothold here quickly. Eliminate the Skrin presence. Allow no civilians to be killed. Okay, so I think my first try here is just going to be a scouting effort. See what's going on. Okay, that's the edge of the map. And once we have a bit of a feel for the lay of the land, we're probably going to restart from the beginning. 155 Skrin remaining. That's a significant number of Skrin. These are laser turrets? Yes. We are getting money regularly from this oil derrick. Do we have any others? It's the only one I see. Oh, I hear fighting. Okay, there's Skrin across this mud path. This mud path was added to the desert tile set. It does not exist in the original tile set, so that's cool. Yes, sir. And was I on some kind of timer here? Maybe not. Maybe I can actually take my time with this one. Alright, so these are warriors, general purpose infantry. See, I'm actually going to take advantage of reading the lower right. That is a gunwalker, okay. Interloper, alright, alright. I wasn't actually able to read anything about it, but... still just kind of scoping things out for the time being. Interestingly, the number of Skrin isn't decreasing, so maybe they don't have a base. Maybe they're not actually replenishing their numbers. And some of them are just actively attacking me. I wonder to what degree I'll be able to just build up defenses and let them break themselves against my defenses and get kills that way. Okay, Lacerator, fast hover tank, Disintegrator, anti-tank, anti-infantry, something like that. That's why my cursor was all messed up, because my cat was partially sitting on my keyboard. Oh right, these are the Corruptors. Very anti-infantry units. Very strong against infantry. That's the Devourer, medium hover tank. That's the thing that... Yeah, okay, so the Interloper troop carrier is the thing that I think looks like a Covenant tank from Halo. And here we've got the Annihilator tripod. Very heavy attack vehicle. Probably about the equivalent of like a Mammoth tank or something. Okay, here's a oil derrick we can capture. You know, it's not like I've actually lost anything yet, so maybe I don't need to restart. Black Hand Trooper. Elite Precision Anti-Tank Flamethrower Unit. Well, that sounds pretty awesome. Okay, so I'm going to want an engineer to get that oil derrick. And maybe some Black Hand Troopers. That sounds pretty cool. And aside from that, probably just a variety. Oh, did I already have an engineer? Okay, well I have a spare now.
Repairing. Unit ready.
Okay, now I have a proper airstrip. Interesting. I guess the reason that I had a weapon factory in that one mission is because it was a captured GDI base, but okay. So Nod does normally get the traditional airstrips. Okay, I'm glad of that. I mean, it's not like a big deal or doesn't really matter from a gameplay perspective, but I don't know, I just like the traditionalism of it. Okay, so in base Tiberian Dawn, Nod normally doesn't really get any kind of troop carrier. And it doesn't look like I can build any kind of troop carrier here either. Which is unfortunate because it makes transporting engineers safely around a bit more difficult. Okay. We need to go capture oil derricks, I think. Let's only bring one engineer along. Alright, we found an oil derrick over there. Oh, and I had some survivors, okay. They get to join the group. But yeah, I mean, in Tiberian Dawn, basically all you ever do with civilians is kill them literally just because they're in the way of where you want to build a base, or just to frame GDI for doing it. Oh boy, Skrin reinforcements, huh? Alright, so we have to go get this wormhole. So it's nice to see, and when that's the case, it's hard to understand why anybody would ever side with Nod or join Nod, other than just complete psychopaths. Which, you wouldn't think those would be in large enough supply to get enough recruits for a huge international army. So it's nice to see that we're actually helping civilians so that they'll be grateful to us and we can recruit them into the Brotherhood. This just feels a lot more realistic and reasonable for how the Brotherhood would operate, rather than just being a bunch of cartoon villains who just go around torching every civilian village they see. Which, I mean, I know lore-wise that's not exactly accurate, but as far as their in-game depiction, in Tiberian Dawn especially, it's pretty much how they operate. And it's a little silly. Sometimes when playing as Nod in Tib Dawn, I feel like I should have a long mustache that I twirl around my finger while laughing maniacally. Alright, he's getting there. Alright, focus down the Annihilator tripod. Another Skrin wormhole detected, okay. Ah. Let's peel off our attack bikes because they're fast. Or, I know, recon bike, attack bike, recon cycle, attack cycle. Their name changes from game to game. They are recon bikes here, okay. Pretty sure that's what they were called in Tib Dawn. And then they became attack cycles in Tib Sun, something like that. It's being pretty generous with giving me enough time to get to the Skrin wormholes, so that's cool. And we now have another oil derrick. This is a pretty relaxed mission so far, all told. But knowing this mod, there's probably going to be a sudden huge difficulty spike. Some kind of big ambush or something. Alright, what is this? That's the Devourer. I'll learn to tell them apart over time. I'm glad we're fighting the Skrin again, too, because it's been a while since we have fought the Skrin. I think I mentioned in an earlier video that if I were like the big story designer of CNC, I would have tried to do something more unexpected with the Skrin rather than just make them a fairly typical Hollywood-style alien invader race. For a variety of reasons, just because it's so expected. You know, it's completely unsurprising that that's what they end up being. And also partly because in stories where an ultra-advanced interstellar alien race goes up against modern or near-future Earth forces, it doesn't make any sense that they don't just completely face-roll us with massively superior technology. Which is what should have happened in Command & Conquer as well. Like, human weaponry had not advanced to the point where we should have been able to stand any chance against an interstellar alien empire. And yet we were able to, which doesn't make any sense. And I know that there's the excuse, oh, it was just a bunch of miners who came prematurely or something. But, I mean, miners with significant military force, nonetheless. And if you imagine, say, a modern mining corporation that has a PMC, private military corporation, bunch of mercenaries, were to encounter a bunch of cavemen, like, they would just set up, you know, a base and deploy infantry squads with machine guns and maybe some tanks. And the cavemen would stand no chance whatsoever. They would get utterly slaughtered. It would be like fighting a bunch of death gods, basically, even if it is just a mercenary group hired by a mining company. And realistically, a race of aliens that can travel between the stars faster than the speed of light should be as superior to us as modern-day human technology would be to a bunch of cavemen. So I don't really buy the excuse that it was just, oh, it's just a Skrin mining group and that's why we were able to fight them off. That doesn't really fly for me. All that said, though, canonically this is what the Skrin are. So, the fact that the mod is making use of the Skrin as they appear canonically, that's fine with me. I don't have a problem with that. And don't get me wrong, it's not like I think everything about the Skrin was terrible. It is cool that they introduced an alien faction with its own entire tech tree and, you know, weird alien units and stuff. So that was all pretty cool. I'm not saying I hate everything about the Skrin. And I think they really flesh out this mod, too. Because you've got the Allies and the Soviets and GDI and Nod, and just in terms of, you know, being a bunch of modern and near-future human technology factions, they're all kind of, you know, quite familiar to everybody. But then you have the Skrin, the alien race, and they're, you know, much weirder. And so they inject some nice variety and flavor into the mod, so I do like that. Still, if I ever go forward with the sequel to my Red Alert Alternative mod and make Tiberian Alternative, I'm going to explore doing something much stranger with the Skrin, and not just making them a bunch of alien invaders who want to kill everybody. I'll see if I can come up with something more interesting than that. I'm sure I can. I am a writer. I've written several novels. But I'm not going to get into what my various ideas for the screen are right now. I will leave that for another day if I actually follow through with making my Tiberian alternative mod. So they do have a base, but it doesn't really seem like they're producing anything with it. Okay, so these things that look like, I don't know, mouths with teeth are actually power structures. Understood, and this thing is a silo. Okay, that makes sense. And this is a refinery. Okay. Ooh, getting to that one before it starts spawning scrin could be a challenge. Get up there, guys. Hurry, hurry. We don't want them bringing in reinforcements. I feel like I should maybe focus a little more heavily on fast units, given that mobility seems really important. Oh boy. Stormcrawler. Slow-moving, very durable, short-range assault unit. It is durable, they're not kidding about that. Brutalizer, there's a name. But yeah, like, honestly, realistically, given how much more advanced the Scrid must be than humanity, their units should probably just vaporize an entire human division in one shot. That didn't go great. I agree with you, Music Track. It's not good, it doesn't look good. Our force here basically got wiped out, and we did not destroy the portal. So they're probably going to be warping in... Oh boy, and there's another wormhole. They're probably going to be warping in reinforcements. Let's get this one, since it's right here. Also, more great variety in the mission design. The last mission was a sort of traditional style pre-deployed puzzly one. And I don't even know how to describe this one exactly. It's a limited production mission, so it's not just purely pre-deployed. We have limited production, limited income. And our enemies don't have a traditional base either. So it's a very interesting mission design. I quite like it. I have a feeling these are reinforcements that came through the wormhole. Because I wasn't able to destroy it in time. Okay, we repelled them. We need to go get that wormhole, though. Where is this happening? Oh, we ran into another enemy assault force. So we were doing great, but all of a sudden things feel like they're spiraling out of control. There's another wormhole. I have a feeling that this is going to be one of those things where now that we're falling behind, it's going to snowball. And we're just going to keep falling farther and farther behind. So this is probably not going to end well. I might just want to scout and then restart, find what I can. We'll see.
Insufficient funds.
Oh boy, okay. I want to find another oil derrick. But there's scrin everywhere, so it's not the easiest thing to do. Okay, tell you what, we're gonna restart. This feels like it's snowballing out of control pretty quickly. I have a much better idea what I'm up against this time. Alright. I now also realize I don't need to get additional engineers. Mechanics? Oh geez, and I just let them all die. And here's the engineers. I should probably leave the mechanics back home rather than bringing them around because they're so fragile they get killed very easily. Alright, let's bring one engineer with us. And we can head back to base for repairs when we need to. I guess we can take one mechanic with us. If he gets killed, not the end of the world, because I have plenty of replacements. Let's go for that first oil derrick we found. And know that we're going to need a fast response team for when those wormholes appear. With an enemy group like this, there's no real obvious high-value unit to focus down. So I just let my guys do their thing. I feel like the Corruptors are really nasty, and focusing them down is probably a good call. Alright, let's redirect to take out this group. Oh god, why did the infantry all get left behind to fight the Corruptor, which was the worst possible circumstance? Don't know how that ended up being the case, but as a result, that went pretty poorly. I might have gone out prematurely. Maybe I should have built up a bit more first. Okay, we lost everything. That was probably a worse attempt than my first one by a wide margin. So just going straight for that first oil derrick is maybe not the right call. I should build up more, I guess. I didn't realize there was that much stuff between me and that oil derrick. No, I don't need you both, just one of you. I think for this first push, I actually mostly want the heaviest units I can get. Which, as Nod, is not very heavy, but we're going to see some pretty serious combat when we push out of the base here.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
Very interesting mission, though. I like this a lot.
Reinforcements have arrived. Unit ready.
Traditional base building missions can start to feel repetitive if you just have nothing but those over and over. They're slightly more acceptable in, like, the official campaign, because with most official real-time strategy campaigns, they kind of introduce more and more technology as you go along, both in your tech tree and the enemy tech trees. And as a consequence, you sort of get automatic variety from being introduced to all the different units and maybe implicitly tutorialized on how to use them. But then when you get to things like expansion packs and mods, just having nothing but a bunch of base building missions can start to feel kind of lazy and repetitive. But this mod has avoided that trap, which is very good. There have been a fair number of base building missions, but it has not exceeded the limit where I start to get tired of them. So it's done a good job with the mission variety, is what I'm saying, in my long-winded way. Lead with the heavy units, the more durable ones. Okay. Mechanic, come up and do your thing. Looks like we only have one vehicle that's particularly damaged. Alright, go back and meet the mechanic. He's slow. Oof, mechanic works kind of slow. Maybe I should have brought two of them. They work faster in Red Alert 1. Vanilla. It's not necessarily a bad thing that they work slower here. That's probably better balance. Alright, well, once again, lead with the heavier units, then bring in the rest. Focus down those Corruptors because they are infantry murdering machines. Let's try not to go south this time. Okay, too late. We provoked them. But this fight is going way better. Okay. And my forces aren't that much higher, so the difference is that I just controlled my forces better this time. That just goes to show you the value of decent micro, I guess. Alright, mechanics, go fix up our vehicles before the next push. Get out of their way, guys. Theoretically, repairing your forces in the middle of a battle is even better because you really keep them going and you repair the damage as soon as it happens, but honestly, I tried that before and my mechanics just got slaughtered, so I'm not sure that's very viable. They're just too vulnerable.
Unit ready.
Good enough. Continue the push. Ah, dang it. I was going to put my heavier units in front, but... Alright, fine. If they want to engage us, take them down. Get them, boys! Alright, engineer, come do your thing. I remembered this group to the north. Let's take it out.
Insufficient funds. Building captured. Unit ready.
Excellent. Should double our income, I think.
Reinforcements have arrived.
I feel like the Black Hand Troopers have done pretty well.
Insufficient funds.
Aha! Alright, let's go take that out. I was waiting for that to start. Is it my imagination, or do the wormholes start appearing faster the longer the mission goes on? Almost feels like it, but maybe that was my imagination.
Reinforcements have arrived.
You are not a heavy unit.
Insufficient funds.
Get 'em, boys! Seems like the appearance of the wormholes is randomized, which is cool because you can't just memorize what order they're going to appear in. So that's some good design. I think it's making a big difference repairing my forces with my mechanics between sorties.
Insufficient funds. Unit ready.
Haven't yet figured out where another oil derrick is, but... Okay, they're doing their thing. Ooh, they have their own voice line.
Reinforcements have arrived.
I've always had mixed feelings about every unit having a unique voice. It works really well in StarCraft, but part of the reason for that is StarCraft is sort of inherently kind of cartoony. It's a little hit and miss in the CNC series. There are some units with unique voices that I really like a lot, like the Tibdong Commando. His unique voice is incredible. And there are others that are good too. But some of them are just very silly, or even kind of cringe. And I kind of like when all the vehicles just have this generic vehicle voice and most of the infantry have a generic infantry voice. And the reason I like it is because it's actually better for immersing myself in the fantasy that I am the commander of a professional military force. When everybody just sort of has this dry, professional-sounding communication, instead of saying all these cringe, cheesy voice lines. But again, it's hit and miss. Some of them are really good, and it probably... Aha, there's an oil derrick. It also probably works better in Red Alert 2 and Red Alert 3 because those games are basically just trying to be silly. And so it doesn't really matter as much if the voice lines are goofy as heck. It fits in with the overall tone. This will help a lot. Oh, and it's Airstrike, one of my favorite tracks. Love airstrike. Ooh, all the way up there again. Okay, backtrack, backtrack, take it out. I think leaving those is a huge mistake. I wonder if I should just have a dedicated fast response team for this. That seems like a good idea, actually. Then I don't need to redirect my main force every time.
Reinforcements have arrived.
What? My light tanks are amphibious! I didn't know that! I would have known that if I read it, but I just assumed they were generic light tanks. That's crazy.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Okay, let's create that fast response team for taking out the portals where they appear, the wormholes. So that's going to be a mixture of
Unit ready.
recon bikes and attack buggies. Then I can just keep my main force doing what it's doing, and I don't have to redirect them all the time.
Unit reinforcements have arrived.
I feel like I'm doing pretty well. I think I'll make a scum save here.
Unit reinforcements have arrived.
I don't know why airstrike is called airstrike. The Steam does not make me think of an airstrike in any way, shape, or form, so it feels pretty misnamed.
Reinforcements have arrived.
But musically, it's amazing.
Unit lost. Reinforcements have arrived.
What the heck kind of pathing are you taking?
Unit lost.
Where am I losing units? Ah, my main force.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Okay, well done. That's why you were doing that, because I erroneously put you in the fast response team. Fair enough. Okay, fast response team complete. We'll have them sorta in the center, where they can get anywhere quickly.
Building.
Maybe I should just build them 5 at a time, but then I'm stuck building a particular kind of unit for an awfully long time, and then selectively canceling them is finicky and annoying. So that's why I'm building fewer units at a time instead of just shift-clicking and doing 5 at once. In case anybody was wondering. Probably not. Alright, another group of Skrin eliminated. Oh boy, the fast response team cannot handle that. And the main group is going to struggle to reach that in time. This could get ugly. The storm column, or as I call it, the lightning tree. Those Black Hand troops are pretty good. Oh boy, multiple Annihilator tripods. Bring them down, lads. Bring them down. I am digging the Black Hand troops. We lost so many of these guys just because of how they decided to path to get here. I should have just sent them around. It would have been faster and I wouldn't have lost so many. Oh boy. And if reinforcements start pouring through that wormhole, as I'm trying to get through the units defending it, well, we can but try. And I don't think I have time to fix up my damaged vehicles before we make our assault. Okay, you know what? Fast response team? Actually, you two. I want the fast response team to help with this giant mess. Wow, what a slaughter. We stood no chance whatsoever. Pull back. Break contact. Way too many scrin to deal with that. So once a wormhole appears here, I just need to hit it with a giant force. A small force just gets slaughtered, so that was pretty fatal, I think. I really couldn't afford to lose all that. And we're back. So, does it just set a seed at the beginning of the mission? If so, then once you start a mission, the randomness is then baked into the cake, and the wormholes will always appear in the same order for that run. Or is it re-randomized every time the wormhole appears? That is the question. We're about to find out the answer. Alright, the fast response squad is ready. Hopefully it doesn't appear here. That is definitely the worst, because breaking through that is a mess. I don't think I've succeeded in doing so yet. That must be basically the heart of the Scrin forces. Or anyway, it's one of their more fortified enclaves on this map. Damn. Again. Okay. So, either the random seed is determined when the mission starts, or it's just guaranteed to be that one after a certain amount of time. God. Alright, you guys have to turn around and deal with this. They're just pursuing and killing you. What are these? Leechers. Anti-infantry and anti-structure. They're probably just going to be able to summon some number of reinforcements before I have a big enough force to deal with that. I should probably get my other engineers or mechanics involved. That would make the repairs go faster, that's for sure. Oh. Is this enough to break through? Maybe. We can't let that wormhole be, that's for sure. And this time I knew to just go around to deal with it instead of just select that and let them path their own way there. Number of Scrin is increasing. Oh boy, fast response squad has to go deal with that. We can't let that be. You are not that fast. Get back there. Oh boy, did I poke the hornet's nest by parking too close. Look at how fast the number of Scrin is increasing. That's nuts. I guess we just have to go for it. Okay, the rate of increase has slowed down. I guess there was basically a wave of reinforcements coming through. Okay, consolidate, consolidate. Let the fast attack squad show up. Or fast response squad so they can contribute to the fight. Alright, everyone get in there. Go, go, go. Their numbers are increasing again. More reinforcements are coming through. Gotta shut this wormhole down. Okay, this is looking good. God, look at them all. Take it out. No, actually, you know what? Deal with the threats first. Oh, those corruptors. Okay, there's another one in a place we have now secured. So, I think we can take that one. How much lies between us and them is the question. Maybe I should make another scum save. I don't feel like I'm going to do much better than this. Oh, you flanking jerk. That's not good. Those are some losses I could have done without when I was going to take out a wormhole. Regroup. Okay, my rapid attack or rapid response squad is just dead. They're so fragile they get wiped out incredibly quickly. It doesn't seem that heavily guarded. I think we need to rebuild the rapid response squad. Guys, kill this, whatever it is. Darkener tank. Oh my gosh, am I going to lose all my guys before I take out the wormhole? That Darkener tank is something else. Where have you guys been? At least this one is somewhere I've already secured, so... This mission starts out surprisingly easy, but the difficulty sure ramps up and it becomes quite tense. As I suspected it would. Alright, you're basically fine. You're pretty damaged, so you park in the... Okay, all these guys are nearly dead. You park for repairs. How are my oil derricks? This one's fine, this one's fine. And this one's fine. Okay, reinforcements are coming through. I'm kind of glad we don't seem to have the pre-Firestorm, Tiberian Sun, ridiculously overpowered not artillery, because those things were ridiculous. Way overpowered. Okay. This is going pretty well. What the? Our reinforcements coming through that quickly. Wow. It did not give me any time to respond that time. We're down to 44 scrin left on the map. You guys need repairs again. This is another track I really like. I think this was another one from one of the Red Alert expansions, but I don't remember if it was Aftermath or Counter-Strike. But I really like a lot of the Red Alert expansion tracks, very atmospheric. I liked the Counter-Strike tracks for the same reason. Oh, okay. We've already cleared that, so go, go, go. I think we're ready for another big push.
Building.
Let's start building some heavier forces again.
Unit ready.
Oh, there's another oil derrick here.
Unit ready.
Cancel these guys. Let's get an engineer. Then we'll really ramp up our building capacity. Oh, and I have a hospital. I only just now noticed.
Unit ready.
How observant of me.
Reinforcements have arrived. Unit ready.
Probably going to be some scrin in this shroud. Yep.
Reinforcements have arrived. Unit ready.
All right. I'd say the north part of the map is secured then. Where is it? Oh boy, it's like on the opposite side of the map from my forces. Everybody, go, go, go.
Unit ready.
Should have kept my fast response squad in the middle of the map. Down to just 28 scrin, looking promising.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Okay. I'll start pushing east from here. Get the fast response group back in the middle. I think I heard building captured, so I believe we have the oil derrick now. Now we can build even faster.
Reinforcements have arrived. Unit ready.
Eva is certainly easier on the ears than Kabbalah is.
Reinforcements have arrived. Unit ready. Unit ready. Insufficient funds.
All right. Take it out, lads.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Pretty much just the southeast sector we have to clear now.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
Another oil derrick.
On hold. Insufficient funds.
All right, they took care of it. Back to the middle.
Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit
Just 12 scrin units now.
Unit lost. Reinforcements have arrived. Unit ready. Insufficient
I remember you guys.
unit lost. Unit ready.
I just hear a bestial death cry when that thing went down.
Unit ready.
Yep, it does make a bestial death cry when it goes down.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Not many left.
Insufficient funds. Unit ready. Unit ready.
Are there any wormholes active that I missed?
Unit lost.
Not that I see.
Reinforcements have arrived. Unit lost.
6 scrin left.
Unit lost.
Why am I losing units?
Unit lost.
Where?
Insufficient funds. Unit lost.
Is it this group?
Building captured. Unit ready. Unit ready.
Okay, the buildings do count toward the number of scrin left, so there's basically nothing. One scrin left.
You are victorious.
Apparently no scrin left. Hey, we did it. That was a really fun mission with a really interesting design. It was probably the easiest mission so far, but it was still challenging, and I'm not going to suggest making it harder because it was a nice break from... In general, most of the missions are super difficult, and that's not a bad thing because they're now doable. So that's fine, but it's also not a bad thing to throw a slightly easier mission in there for something that's just a little bit more relaxing. So yeah, I liked that one a lot. I liked all kinds of things about that one. I liked the little bit of like world building that Nod is actually helping some civilians to get recruits instead of just killing civilians all the time. I like that we fought the Skrin again for the first time in a while. I like that it was a interesting, unorthodox mission design. And like I said, I like that it was a little bit of a break in being a little easier than most of the other missions, but still challenging. You know, I lost a couple of times. It wasn't a complete cakewalk. I'm really enjoying the Nod campaign so far. Like, the Allied campaign was good too. I did enjoy it, but at least from the first 3 Nod missions, I think I like the Nod campaign better so far. But we will see if that trend continues in the next episode with Nod Mission 4. Hopefully you'll join me for that, and I shall see you then.